The people who say they love God generally are not able to love you. They're not able to love other people, right? Yes, there can be some kindness, some politeness, but that is conditional kindness often, because the ability to truly love another human being unconditionally can only be cultivated by knowing yourself, becoming aware of all of your self-judgment, and being merciful to yourself and forgiving yourself, and be non-judgmental to yourselves. Because that process of knowing yourself causes you to fall in love with the imperfect version of yourself, right? And when you become intimately attuned to that feeling of falling in love with your imperfect self, you lose all judgment. You lose the judgment of other people. I find in general that people who believe in God and who take the word God to mean a certain kind of standard of perfection, they're not unconditionally loving, because the focus of directing your love toward God as another being, as a perfect being, you see, loving a perfect being does not bring you face to face with your imperfection. You're not bringing awareness to your imperfection, and therefore you cannot cultivate unconditional love for imperfection. And when you see it outside of yourself in other people that are not perfect, that don't measure up to your perfect God, and the relationship you have towards perfection in another, not in yourself, but in another, that standard, that becomes the standard of how you judge the imperfections in other people. So a lot of people that say they love God, they love the perfection of God, the imagined image of God, and then they project that on everyone around them. And of course, nobody meets that perfect image of God, that image of perfection. And therefore, because everyone else falls short of the God perfection, we judge. Our ego judges the imperfection. But to truly learn to love unconditionally, you can only do that by becoming aware of your own imperfections and loving yourself anyways, approving of yourself anyways, right? And when you do that, it does something to you at a cellular level, at the soul level. And if you can love yourself in your imperfection, then you can love everybody else in their imperfection, right? And that eliminates judgment. That eliminates judgment. So it has to begin not with loving God. It has to begin with loving yourself in your imperfection and being accepting of that, because none of us can measure up to this fictitious perfection that we have projected upon a God in heaven. None of us can measure up to that. That means we will always be not good enough, right? And to live from an identity of not good enough makes you critical and judgmental, because that mirror on the inside of you're not good enough is projected onto everyone else, and therefore everyone else becomes not good enough, and that's an unconscious judgment. And that is not love. Even though with our mouth we might confess that we love God, but really we only love the perfect, the imagined perfect image of what we want God to be, right? We need that because we don't find it within ourselves. And so while you may love God, you remain in self-criticism within yourself and then project that onto the world around you. And that's not love. That's not loving your fellow human, and that's not loving God, because God is walking about as all of those imperfect human beings out there, right?